Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaserking coming to you with week 8 of college football. Had a huge week last week, hitting my pro locks. I missed the Wisconsin lock against Michigan. It was a surprise that Michigan scored so much on Wisconsin. I don't really look at like line injuries too much as I would do a quarterback. Like if Wisconsin's running back was out, then I would definitely have not have played the game. But unusual for Michigan to run it up. We hit the locks and the pros. The pros had a perfect Sunday, 9-0. Strong plays were Kansas City, San Diego, the Rams, Pittsburgh was my lock. Jacksonville under 47.5 was a lock. The Rams were -1 were a lock. I mean, it was just a beautiful Sunday. College wasn't bad except for the Wisconsin game. I hit a lot of the other ones. So I had a big week last week. Should have a big week this week. I have a huge lock, 17 unit in college. In the pros, I don't really have a lock, but I have 4 really strong plays, and I think 2 like mine, maybe 7 unit plays where they're more. I like them, I don't love them, but the other 4 I have big units on. So I'm going to talk college. You got to be careful of the injuries. You got to be careful of the new quarterbacks. All of a sudden, I'm betting a team based on quarterback A, and then all of a sudden, quarterback B plays, and you're like, quarterback A maybe got hurt in the first series, or maybe he just isn't playing well, and they put in quarterback B. That's the difference in college. In the pros, you pretty much know who's the quarterback. Obviously injuries happen, and that's why there's a little bit more risk in gambling. Especially sports gambling is the injury, especially in football where there's a lot of injuries. But with that said, I want to look at the Nevada-Hawaii game. I got Hawaii -3, over/under of 67. Hawaii, very strong offense. I love the quarterback, Cole McDonald. Very strong offense, but their defense gives up. Well, let's take a look at the numbers. They score 37 and they give up 32. They're a perfect over team. They get 300 yards passing a game, 136 rushing, so they do have some form of a rushing attack, but they're basically throwing. And let's look at Nevada. They score 32 a game, but they also give up 34. I like Ty Ganji, the quarterback of Nevada. They're a very strong over team. They throw 274, they run for 150, and that's 425 yards of offense. They almost beat Boise last week. The kid threw a 99-yard interception for a touchdown. I mean, if they're going in, they get the touchdown, they got Boise on the ropes. So what does that mean for this game? Well, I got a 32 defense in Hawaii, a 34 defense in Nevada, but both teams can score in the 30s. So what does that mean? Well, when the game's going on, what it means is neither team has really a strong defense. They should march up and down the field in this game. That's what you like in an over. You're betting it more, not on like Alabama played Missouri last week. Hard to go over on Alabama in the 70s against the Missouri or an Ole Miss. The teams with the good quarterback, Alabama shuts them down because their defense is so strong. So it's not prudent to play Alabama over as much as it's prudent to play the overs when the defenses are bad. And in this case, Nevada 33, Hawaii 32. That's exactly the kind of teams with good quarterbacks that score a lot, have no defense. That's what you want, is over team versus over team. There shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 punts in this game. Let's look at the quarterback stats. Cole McDonald, Hawaii, 335 a game passing, 26 touchdowns and 3 picks. He's been sacked 17 times for 68 yards, so a lot of them are pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Let's look at Nevada. Ty Ganji throws for 272 a game, 13 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's only been sacked 5 times. I think he's somewhat of a running quarterback also. But this is an explosive offense, both these teams. And really that's what I'm driving at here. Now the key about over-unders, does the over-under line make sense? When you make Alabama a 72 over-under, it's hard to take them over. Even with the 7, I mean, it's just, if it's a 50, that's a different story, but a 72 is just way too much. And that's how I look at when I play the unders. I play a lot of SEC unders because you'll play LSU Florida under, LSU Auburn under, Florida under, and you know, but when Florida plays LSU, Florida plays Auburn, these teams with the really strong defenses but not the great offenses, and they play each other, that's when it goes under. You can't play an over and an under and then try to play the game over or under because the defense can shut them down. So you want it both ways. You want strong defenses playing each other. It's going to be an under game. In this case, I got terrible defenses and strong offenses. So does the number make sense? Well, I notice it's down to 67. It started at 69. Not quite sure why it would go under. Maybe it's, I don't know. A lot of the line movements I've been seeing lately, and a lot of the lines I've been seeing lately, I don't understand. And I've been doing this since the 70s. They'll come out with an over/under. They being Vegas, and let's say it's 61, and then 2 days later it's 66, or it went down to 55. It's almost like they have no clue what they're doing. I'm really beginning to wonder if they have any clue in making lines, because especially over-unders. I notice if you watch an over-under come out Sunday night or Monday, at the win it comes out Sunday night, and then by Friday it's moved 5, 6, 7 points. That's not a good line. That means they have no idea really what they're doing, and you can catch it if you can. You got to study the game quickly and then see the over teams and the under teams and take advantage of it. But I notice a tremendous amount of bad opening lines that move 5, 6 points, and there ain't that kind of money going on pounding the over and the under. I find that they're not doing what they're supposed to. If the line's 3 and here's so much money, it moves it to 3.5. So much money moves it to 4. So much money comes in, moves it to 4.5. They're just taking out 3.5 or a 4-point line to 6 without the money coming in, which is very misleading because you think, oh, there's a lot of betting going on, but it's not. They're just moving a line a point or two based on what they think will happen, which is not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to let the money be equal on both sides, which they're not doing. So we can really take advantage of the line. So when I look at a 67 between these two teams in Hawaii, so I'm going to get good weather, I just sit there now, unless there's some really terrible weather, which we got to check, but from what I can see, it's not. I really like the over in this game. I got two explosive teams with weak defenses. They'll be going up and down the field. Now let's take a look. Over 67. Okay, that's not bad. I have a hard time going over these Texas Tech games when they're 77-80. All right, that means they both got a score in the 40s, which is hard to do, even though they're explosive. In this game, 67, I go down to 61. 61 is 35 to 30 is 65, which is extremely reasonable for Nevada, Hawaii, that both average in the 30s. So I would not. Would I go under 73? Absolutely not, because I know they're going to score in the 30s. They'll probably score in the 40s, if not in the 50s in this game. Good quarterbacks and weak defenses lead to a lot of scoring. Now what happens sometimes is you get the turnovers at the goal line, or the idiot coach who wants to run and get away from his strength because he wants to keep the other quarterback on the bench, and so they end up running, and then they end up not doing what they do well, and they end up losing, and it becomes a lower scoring game because, we're trying to keep the quarterback off the bench instead of doing what you're supposed to do, which is let your quarterback score, and then hopefully you get some turnovers and interceptions. Not, we're going to run the ball, even though we're not a good running team, and take it away. And that's usually why the overs don't go over, is the coach outsmarts himself and doesn't use his personnel properly. He's got a good quarterback. He puts up a lot of points. Go do it. That's what you're supposed to do. So anyway, love the over. 61, I think, is a very low number for Nevada and Hawaii. I think this number should be in the 70s. Unless some sort of really bad weather is moving in, we got to check the weather. This is a really strong over game here. So there's your teaser bet. Take Hawaii, Nevada over 61. Should be over in the third quarter, unless something really, they start running the ball, which makes no sense with these two quarterbacks and these two defenses. I see it going over. Have a big lock going in college. As soon as I saw it, I bet this game Monday morning. As soon as I saw the line, I couldn't believe the line, and I loved it. So I got a huge lock, 17 unit. Don't get too caught up on the units. 17, 21. They're very strong. I do locks. I like it. It's maybe a 9. It's my strong play. Then I really love it. I might make it an 11 or something. But then when I really, really love it, when it's like, okay, this isn't going to lose, it's a 17, it's a 20. I think what I'm looking at is I'm going, okay, I'm going to make them like a 15. And then I like it so much, it's like, okay, I'm going to put it in 2 teasers. And I said, well, instead of doing that, let's just make it a bigger bet. And that's usually what happens. That's what happened last week with the Rams, with San Diego, with Kansas City, with Pittsburgh. If you look at my history and I show you the games, understand I'm on purpose putting them in 2 teasers. That's how, when you see me, when you're my customer and you look at the games, and last week you see Pittsburgh in 2 teasers. You see the Rams in 2 teasers. You see Kansas City getting 9.5 on the Patriots in 2 teasers. It's because I love the game so much. I know it's going to win, and I want to take advantage going, I love the Rams and Pittsburgh, but I love the Rams so much, I'm going to play them with San Diego, and I'm going to play San Diego with Kansas City, because just looking at that 5 or 6 team, and then I hit on a 6-team teaser with all the 6 teams. I went 9-0 on Sunday, so everything hit, but that's the point. So then I take advantage of it with a 16 teaser, because I go, okay, let's just play the sure ones in this multi, and I'm like, San Diego, absolutely. Getting points from Cleveland, you heard it me. Just watch last week's video. What did I say? When they go under, I'm loving and locking San Diego getting points from Cleveland, because there's no way Cleveland should be favored in the game. San Diego should have probably been a 7-point favorite. And you're giving me all the Cleveland bullshit. You're giving me that. You're giving me Cleveland favored against San Diego. Okay, thank you. And so the Rams laying 1, and Pitt owns Cincinnati getting 8, and then Kansas City getting 9.5. Watching them against Jacksonville, I just said nobody's stopping this team. Who's gonna blow them out? And even Brady, they don't blow out Kansas Cities. They might blow out Miami's or teams with weak offenses, but not good offenses. And just anytime Kansas City's a dog the rest of the year, I'm going to pound it. Even if they play the Rams, I don't know if they play the Rams. I think they might. That would, again, take the dog there. So that's how I view it. In college, I've got my, the teams just fall into the lap. I'm looking for good quarterbacks, good defenses, good point spreads. It makes all the difference when you get a -7 down to minus, like Buffalo. I've had locked against Central. I locked them against Rutgers because the line was 7. Buffalo -1, I'm going to win with all day. But if the line was 20, you can't, it's harder to lock -14 than it is -1 just win the game. And that's really what I look for as much as the line. -7s, -8s, keep them under 3. You got a really good one. And so that's why I got a really strong lock, because I got a really nice spread on a couple of games that I was shocked with, that I would not, see, that's the difference. My spread on one of the games is -14 and they're -7.5. My other spread, the team should be -7, is getting points. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I took them because they're a dog when they shouldn't be. And that's my expertise. So anyway, you have the game, Nevada-Hawaii, go over 61. Pound it pretty good. By the third quarter, unless they play like, let's run the ball, both teams, even though we got superstar quarterbacks and they got weak defenses, which inevitably they start throwing the ball once it hits the mid-third quarter, and you start picking up points that way. So bet it hard. Go over Nevada-Hawaii, over only 61. It's a joke. That should be a W for everybody. All right, www.teaserking.com. Again, I don't know if you need a PayPal account. I just believe you need a credit or debit card. Just go in the purchase picks, buy it, and you get the password. It's very simple. www.teaserking.com. I've been really hot the last 2 weeks. One big lock this week. I would definitely recommend playing the whole package, some good college and some very good pro, but not as many. Like last week I had 6 really strong pros. I think I have 4 this week, and I have, I think, 4 or 5 really strong colleges. So there's a few less, but that's okay. You can't get 10 every week. But these are very strong plays, what I do have. So I think we should make some good money this week also. Okay, www.teaserking.com. Go over Nevada-Hawaii 61. Have a nice weekend. Good luck to everybody.